Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name is Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today, we can take a look at most of Galarian Sirfetch'd V. Now, I need to give a massive shout out before we start here to the lovely Stephen Kent, one of my favourite people in the Pokemon community. Always a lovely dude, always here to try and help us out. And Playscape Games, his page, have been the ones who have gone and shown us this card. I am very grateful, and quite frankly, ladies and gentlemen, you should be too. And annoyingly, we are missing a tiny bit of information which is actually really important, but we can certainly have a good look at the card and what it does and have a good old chat. So let's do that, shall we? Now, starting off with the basics here, at least what we can see, we've got 210 HP on a fighting Pokemon. No resistance. We don't know the weakness per se, but we know it's going to be weak to Psychic because it's Galarian Sirfetch'd. We have seen a Galarian Sirfetch'd already. There was a Galarian Sirfetch'd in Rebel Clash. Interestingly enough, the theme deck, the Sirfetch'd theme deck, is coming with a Sirfetch'd, which we haven't seen yet. That artwork has not been seen on any Sirfetch'd that has actually been revealed so far. So there is another one coming, but Sirfetch'd is a fighting Pokemon. It's going to be weak to Psychic. I'm assuming a retreat cost of 2, so free retreat with Air Balloon, though that is not confirmed. And we love being a fighting Pokemon. Being a fighting Pokemon means you're hitting weakness and all that stuff like Vikavolt, like Pikarom, like Eternatus. It is frankly the very best weakness that we can possibly hit right now. It is huge and this is awesome. As for the 210 HP, I'll be honest with you, we can do better. Regirock did better. Sandaconda did better. I'd like a little bit more, if I'm honest with you, ladies and gentlemen. But you can't have it all. Now, the thing that really excites me about Sirfetch'd is the ability, which we do know for a fact, is Resolute Spear. And it reads, once during your turn, when this Pokemon moves from your bench to your active spot, you may move any amount of fighting energy from your other Pokemon to it. And we have seen this over and over again on Pokemon after Pokemon after Pokemon. And this is awesome. This is really, really good. Really, really good. It gets you rolling. I mean, the Pokemon at the moment that really makes use of this is Articuno GX. Now, Articuno GX has got a very similar ability. Lets you move any number of water energy from your other Pokemon to this Pokemon, but really it's actually just used for Cold Crush GX. It discards all energy from both active Pokemon, so you play it with Rainbow Energy, and in a mill deck, a stall deck, call it what you will, if your opponent builds up energy on just one Pokemon to try and sweep you, Articuno comes and stops it. For me, I'm actually thinking right back to Machamp Prime here, because this was a fighting Pokemon that I used that had this exact ability. Kind of. Once during your turn, if Machamp is on your bench, you could move all fighting energy from your active to it, and then switch it up. Okay, so this is from your bench to your active, but it's from any of your Pokemon, so it's actually better. And this just gets you rolling. And there's so much that's cool about this. It means you can be using a bunch of single energy attackers, things like Excadrill, things like, well, pre-rotation Buzzwole, which would be a great candidate here, because Buzzwole's only really good when your opponent's got exactly 4 prize cards remaining. And then after that, you don't really want to attack with it anymore. You want to get the energy off, and Galarian Sirfetch'd will take the energy off quite nicely, so yay! Of course, there is always the question of how you're getting the energy out in the first place. Obviously, Colossal will do it, but it's a fighting and a fire, and it's a stage 2, and it's unlikely. We do have Turbo Patch that lets you flip a coin, and if heads, you get to attach an energy, a basic energy from your discard pile to a bench non-GX Pokemon. This will also get energy directly onto Sirfetch'd, which is very, very cool. But remember that we've got Colossal V Max. Now, this is the one we really like here. Colossal V Max, single energy, does 40 damage, discard the top card of your deck. If it's an energy, you do 130 and attach the energy to it. But remember, you're going to use the Oranguru from Sword and Shield to make sure that you always have the energy on it. And incidentally, this will accelerate a special energy like Stone Fighting Energy, not just basic. Weakness Guard Energy would work here as well. It's very cool. And then 4 energy 240 is alright, but you're not all the time going to want it. So here's what I'm thinking. You play one Galarian Sirfetch'd. It's a Pokemon V, so it's a basic, remember. You play one of these in a Colossal V Max deck, and then when you're about to be KO'd, you just switch up, and then you move the energy over. And now you're not... Okay, then it gives your opponent an awkward choice, is what I'm trying to say. Either they take out Colossal, but they leave your Galarian Sirfetch'd undamaged with all the energy it needs, or they go after the Galarian Sirfetch'd, but they give up the free prizes on your Colossal, giving you time to heal it up or whatever. And here's what's awesome. This is not just basic fighting energy. It moves any amount of fighting energy. So an Aurora energy can be moved here, because when it's attached, it counts as a fighting energy. And that Stone Fighting Energy I mentioned earlier, which reduces damage done to the fighting Pokemon it's attached to by 20, that can be moved up here as well. Any energy that counts as fighting, when it's attached, will work here. It's not like something like Welder, where it's only fire energy when it's attached, so you can't accelerate it with Welder. This is moving energy that's already on the field, so it will work with any of that special energy. So, I love this if the attack is good, and the answer is we don't know. We don't know if the attack is good, because we don't know how much damage it does. Now, we know that it is for 2 fighting, 1 colourless energy. We can make that out from what we can see on the card. And we know that it stops you attacking next turn. We know that whatever you do, you're not able to attack next turn. And honestly, this is going to make or break the card. How much damage it does is really going to make or break how good this card is. Of course, remember that Galarian Sirfetch'd does 180, but cannot use it again until it leaves the active spot. It would be weird if this Pokemon V did less damage than that. I mean, what we can really do is just follow the evidence. We've got Zacian V, free energy, 230, and it can't attack next turn, plus it's got an awesome ability. We could look at Phalanx, basic Pokemon V, fighting type, same attack cost, 210. So that's probably going to be a fair comparison moving on here. And the only other Pokemon V we've got is same attack cost Tapu Koko, 200 damage with the free retreat and the nice first attack. So we basically got 3 different Pokemon here. One does 200, one does 210, one does 230. And herein is going to lie the question. Because actually, 210, I mean, no matter how much it is, you're going to get Vikavolt, you're going to get Pikarom, you're going to get Eternatus, right? That's not the question. The question is, are you going to one-hit KO Zacian V, which has got 220 HP? Maybe, maybe not. I feel very, very confident that this will do at least 210. And 210 will get a lot of Pokemon V. Centiskorch is really good. You'll get Centiskorch. The question is, will you get all of them? As far as I'm concerned, it is a very fair assumption to say it will get all basic and evolved non-GXs, non-Vs, and it will get Pokemon Vs other than the higher end, and it won't get tag teams or VMAXs unless they're weak, although many of the relevant ones are. The question here is, will it get up to 220, 230 and be KOing stuff like Zacian, or will it be falling a bit short? And then, of course, remember that Martial Arts Dojo is still a thing. So Martial Arts Dojo does an extra 10 damage if you've got basic fighting on, an extra 40 if you're behind on prizes, and if it's an extra 40, then you're doing 240, 250, or 260. But then again, 260 is all of a sudden in range of a Lucario and Melmetal. This is going to be somewhere in that range. It's going to be between 200 and 230. I feel extremely confident about that. And honestly, that makes a huge difference. Because if it's 230, with a martial arts dojo behind on prizes, down goes Reshiram and Charizard, and down goes Mewtwo and Mew, and that is absolutely huge. If it is 210 or 200, you're not even getting them if you've got a martial arts dojo and a vitality band. We want it to be closer to Zacian than it is to Phalanx or to Tapu Koko. But I don't see how it could be. And I know some people are going to want to predict it's less than 200 or more than 230. There is nothing to suggest that. We've got Pokemon we can look at and get some evidence. So, I don't want to give it a score here. It's tending towards a 4 Wossie card, but I don't want to give it a score because we don't know the attack damage, and it is going to be right on the borderline of getting some key KOs, and I need to know where it falls. What I will say is, great ability, going to be decent damage, great typing. This one is almost certainly going to see play. And I didn't actually say it's coming in its own promo box, but I did put a picture up earlier, so you got that right. But I want to know what you think. So let me know in the comment section, would ya? Go nuts, me nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at The Wasi, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCG Radio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can do exactly that. And do make sure you're checking out Playscape Games. Those dudes, well, Steven mostly, awesome. Check him out, give him some love. Bloomin' earned it. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.